Cool, so we'll get started. Grab yourself a block or a cushion or something like that to sit on. And then find yourself a comfortable seat. So we'll start seated. And just make any movements that you need to make to allow your body to start to settle into the space that you're finding yourself in. And see if you can get a sense when you're sitting of drawing the crown of the head back over the sacrum. So the sacrum is the lowest part of the back. So you might need to draw your head back a bit and see if you can root down through your sitting bones, and probably you'll notice that you need to draw the belly in if the crown of the head is drawing back. And then let the shoulders soften away from the ears and let the eyes close, or just the gaze soften a little bit. And start to deepen and lengthen your inhales and your exhales. So a nice way of doing this is just counting silently inside of your head, 4 on the inhale and 4 on the exhale. So breathing in for a count of 2, 3, 4, and breathing out 2, 3, 4, and starting to regulate your breath in that way. Getting a sense of the shoulders softening away from the ears and the forehead and the jaw starting to soften and relax. And we'll take some alternate nostril breathing for pranayama this evening. So bring your right index and middle finger onto your forehead and then cover up your right nostril with your thumb. And exhale out of the left nostril. And then inhale through the left nostril. And then cover the left nostril up, exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Cover the right nostril up and exhale out through the left. Adding a breath hold. Inhale through the left nostril. Hold the breath in. Allow the shoulders to soften. And exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Hold the breath in. Forehead and jaw are soft. And exhale out through the left. Again, inhale through the left. 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 2, 3, 4. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 3, 4. Exhale left. And one more round on your own, left to right and right to left. Adding the breath hold if that feels good in your body. And whenever you're done, just letting the arms rest down and allowing the breath to just be gently moving in and out, and see if you can start to notice where you can feel your breath in your body. So it might be your belly, your chest. It might be the space below the nostrils. Just really tuning into that feeling sense and using that, if you can, as an anchor for your attention in your body. So whenever the mind wanders off somewhere else, drawing it back to that feeling sense of the breath. And this evening in your practice, if you'd like to work with an intention, then the invitation is to work with an attitude of gentleness and self-compassion towards however it is that you find yourself this evening, physically, emotionally, energetically. And we are often our own harshest critic. Maybe your hip feels tight, or maybe you don't want to feel angry, or whatever it is. So the invitation as you move through your practice and things come up, which they inevitably do, is to try and just shift your attitude and be gentle with whatever's here, because there's a lot going on in the world. And that might be showing up in some way in your body. It might not, and you might feel great, and that's also really, really welcome. So we'll take an inhale through the nose and reach the arms up over the head. And exhale, draw the hands through the heart center. 2 more like that. Inhale, reach the arms up. Feel yourself grounding down through your sitting bones. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. And again, inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. And then come off of we're going to come into Baddha Konasana, so bringing the soles of the feet together. So if you want to stay up on your block, if that helps you keep the crown of the head over the sacrum, then go ahead and do that. And I'd like you to be sat on your sitting bones. So if that means that you need to bring your feet further away from you, so you're in more like a diamond shape with your legs, then do that. We'll take a side bend. Bring the right hand down next to the right hip. Inhale, reach the left arm up and over. And exhale, soften that left hip. Allow it to let go a little bit. Inhale, breathe into the left side of the ribs. And exhale, relax the back of the neck and the jaw. And then coming into neck release, reaching the left fingertips out. So they're hovering kind of 6 to 12 inches above the ground, and the head and the neck stay relaxed over towards the right side. As you inhale, see if you can breathe into the left upper chest. And exhale, maybe out through your mouth, allowing the jaw to soften. Gently exploring that space in the left side of your neck. Good, and then bringing the right hand to support the face and lifting the head up. We'll come into a twist, bring the left fingertips out behind you, and the back of the left hand to the outside of the back of the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Inhale and expand the sides of your ribs. And exhale, draw the low belly towards the spine and twist yourself towards the left. Good, and then gently come back to center. Left hand comes down. Inhale, reach the right arm up for a side bend. And exhale, soften your right hip. As you inhale, see if you can make more space between your ribs and your hips, all the way down the right side of the body. And then exhale, soften the neck, soften the jaw. Neck release, hovering the right fingertips out, 6 to 12 inches from the ground. And just noticing if this side is different to the other side. And then breathing with that, being gentle to your neck. Good, and then coming up, supporting the left side of the face with the hand, and then taking your twist. Right hand comes out behind you, and the crown of my head is over my sacrum, so my chest is really lifting up. And with that, I can fill the sides of my ribs with my breath. And then exhale, drawing the belly in, opening through the chest. Good, come back to center, and we'll just take a gentle forward fold. So you might want to sit up, and that might be enough for your hips, or you can hold onto your ankles or bring your hands out in front of you, and just get a sense of relaxing the back of the neck, drawing the chin towards the chest, and breathing all the way down into the low back. Maybe breathing out through your mouth for a couple of breaths. And then rolling yourself back up. If you're still on a block or a cushion, then moving off your block or your cushion and drawing your knees together. And then bring the hands so they're holding the backs of the hamstrings. And here I'm rolling forwards on my sitting bones. So my chest is lifted, the shoulder blades are back and down, and the low belly is softly drawing in. Inhale and spread the sides of the ribs. And then start to straighten your right leg, keeping holding the hamstrings. Inhale, bend the right knee. Exhale, start to straighten the right leg. 2 more on this side. The chest is lifted, the shoulder blades are drawing back and down. And then switching to the other side, bending and straightening that left leg. And just being really cool with how straight you can get your leg. So this isn't about how straight I can get my leg, it's how much I can feel into the activation in the back of the leg. And then option to do that without the hands, so you can reach the fingertips forwards. And see if you can alternate from side to side, or you can keep the hands on the backs of the hamstrings. And the chest is staying lifted and the low belly is drawing in. Good. And then hug the knees all the way in and roll all the way down onto your back. And if you have a block, keep your block nearby your side. And we'll take some abs here. Bring your knees up over your hips and allow the heels and the ankles to be slightly lower than the level of the knees, but spread the toes, so activate the feet. Let the arms come alongside of the body. We'll take heel taps, so inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. And exhale, push the low back down and bring the right heel down towards the ground. Inhale, bring the right heel up. Exhale, low back stays down, pushing into the mat as the left heel comes down. Inhale, draw the left leg up. Exhale, right heel comes down, low belly draws in. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, left heel comes down, low belly draws in. So maybe you want to stay with these, or clasp the hands behind the back of the head and send the elbows up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders up off the mat. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone up, and exhale, lift the elbows towards the left knee, and then tap the right heel down. Draw the belly down. Inhale, draw the right knee back up. Come back to center, hold the breath. Push the low back down, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the right knee. Left heel taps down. Draw the belly down. Inhale, come to center. Hold the breath. Push the low back down, curl the tailbone. Exhale, elbows to the left knee, right heel taps down, draw the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Push the low back down, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to the right knee, bring the left heel down. Inhale, come back to center. See if you can be gentle here with your breath. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to the left knee, right heel comes down. Then last one, inhale, draw the right knee up. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to the right knee, bring the left heel down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release your head, release your feet. Then take a deep feeling breath all the way down into the low belly. Allowing the low belly to really relax with the exhale. And then we'll take frog lifting through. So I'm just going to switch up so I can face the camera from this wonderful angle. Bring your knees up over your hips, then drop the knees wide so you're in like a frog position. And the ankles are still in line with the knees. Clasp the hands behind the back of the head and send the elbows up towards the ceiling. Inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. Exhale, lift the elbows up and then curl the pubic bone towards the belly button. Pull the belly down. Inhale, relax the pelvis down. Exhale, lift the elbows up, curl the pubic bone in, draw the belly button down. Inhale, relax the pelvis down. Exhale, lift the elbows, curl the pubic bone towards the belly button, spread your toes. And one more, inhale, relax the pelvis down. Exhale, curl the pubic bone towards the belly button, lift the elbows, spread the toes, draw the belly down. Inhale, relax the head down, bring the hands either side of the thighs and draw the thighs together. And then bring your feet down. We'll take bridge here. So bring the backs of the hands onto the mat. Take an inhale and spread the sides of the ribs. And then exhale, push through your feet and lift your hips up. And focus your first few breaths here on creating more space between your ribs and your hips. And just check in with your jaw and your forehead, and if they were switching on because you're working really hard with your abs, then allowing them to soften here. So the back of the head and the neck are really resting, letting go down into the ground. So option to stay here or to take your ankle over your thigh. If you want to put a block underneath your sacrum, you can do. Inhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. And exhale, hook the right ankle over the left thigh. So the right knee's dropping out to the side. So it's like a figure four pose, but you're in a bridge. And see if you can breathe all the way down into the front of that right hip. And with your exhales, you're creating space. So if you want to, you can traction your thigh muscle away from your right hip. Pushing through that left foot, and the jaw is still relaxed. Maybe. And then release the right foot down. Inhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest. Exhale, hook the left ankle over the right thigh. Again, option to bring your Left hand onto the left thigh, and with your inhale, fill the left hip with your breath. And with your exhale, see if you can traction that left thigh muscle away from the hip bone. Good. Release the left foot down. Take an inhale at the top, and then exhale, curl the upper, middle, and then lower part of the back down to the mat. And just allow the knees to drop a little bit from the side to the side, so like windscreen wipering the legs. Breathing deeply and bringing a little bit of movement into the side of the body. And then hug the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe roll around on your back a little bit if that feels good. And then we'll start to move forwards and backwards along the length of our spine, rocking up and down. And then eventually coming up into a seated position and coming forwards onto your hands and knees in a tabletop. So the hands are under the shoulders and the knees are under the hips. And if you need padding underneath your knees, then grab a blanket and put that underneath. We'll take some rolls with our wrists, but also our hips. So as you make little circles around the wrists, the arms staying straight, you're also making circles with your hips. You're breathing deeply and allowing that fluidity of the movement to kind of draw the body round in circles. And then switching up so the circles are going the other way. Spreading your fingers and rooting down through the tips of the fingers as well as the heels of the hands, the palms of the hands. Come back to neutral. We'll take a little bit of cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest up. Exhale, push through the mat, roll the spine, draw the chin into the chest. Again, inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale to round. And taking a couple more breaths like that, or in any other movements that feels good for your body, around your hips, your shoulders. Good, and then sit back onto your heels. And if kneeling doesn't feel good, find an alternative sitting position. Bring your elbows in alongside of your waist for bird wing. Inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. And exhale, send the thumbs out wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, bring the fingertips together. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back and down, opening the front of the chest. 2 more. Really feeling into the shoulder blades and the chest and allowing them to open up. Good. And then bringing the forearms down onto the mat, keeping the hips over the knees, sending the elbows forwards a bit and starting to sink your chest. So this is like Anahatasana or puppy pose, but you're on your forearms rather than your hands. So I'm sinking my chest back towards my thighs. And then find your breath again. Breathe into the space behind the heart and see if you can be soft with whatever it is that's coming up for you now. Maybe physical sensations, maybe emotional stuff. Being really gentle in your attitude to your breath and your body. Good, and then setting up for dolphin, bringing the elbows under the shoulders, measuring the distance between the arms by holding onto the biceps.
And then clasping the hands together, relaxing the back of the neck and pushing through the forearms and breathing into and rounding that space in between the shoulder blades. So this is totally enough. Option on your next exhale to tuck your toes under and lift your hips up into the air. So it's like downward facing dog, but you're on your forearms. And we're pushing really strongly through our forearms and then lifting the sitting bones up and back. So bend your knees as much as you need to get the sitting bones really high up. Option to lift the right leg up into the air, bend the right knee and open the right hip. Good, and then releasing the right foot down if it's lifted up. You can bring the knees down at any point. Inhale, left leg up into the air, bending the left knee and opening the left hip. And then allowing the back of the neck and the forehead to soften. Releasing the left foot down, bringing the knees down, and everybody coming back into a child's pose. Breathing into the space all the way down into the low back or the low belly. And allowing the forehead, the jaw to soften. And knowing that you can come here to find your breath and some space whenever you need to during your practice. Inhale, draw yourself forwards. And the knees are behind the hips. Now the shoulders are over the wrists. Take an inhale into the space in between the shoulder blades. And exhale, bend the elbows, send the elbows back towards the hips. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, bend the elbows, hug the elbows alongside of the waist, half chaturanga. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, child's pose. One more like that. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, straighten the arms, draw the belly in. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come forwards. And this time, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up into downward facing dog. We'll just take a couple of breaths, moving between downward facing dog and plank. So inhale, draw the chest forwards, come into a plank position. Exhale, draw the belly in, lift back up, downward facing dog. Two more like that. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, push through the hands, draw the belly in, downward facing dog. Last one. Good. And then slowly start to walk your feet forwards to the front of the mat. Putting a bend in the knees and allowing the upper body to relax down towards the ground. Option to bring the thumbs to the inner elbows. And finding your breath again here, all the way down in the low back. And then slowly push through your feet and roll yourself up to standing. Maybe taking a couple of rolls of your shoulders. And bringing one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Seeing if you can get a sense of drawing the crown of the head back over the sacrum, lifting the chest up.
And breathing into the space around your heart. We'll take some sun salutations. So inhale, reach the arms up into the air. Exhale, fold forwards, draw the belly in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Drop the knees down. Elbows in as you lower down to your belly. We'll take 3 breaths here in our cobra. So inhale, bring the hands forwards. Draw the chest forwards and up. And exhale, draw the heart forwards and down. 2 more like that. Inhale, traction the back. So it's like you're drawing the chest forwards between the gateway of the arms. Exhale, coming down. 1 more like that. Exhale, draw the chest forwards and down. Push back into downward facing dog. Take an inhale through your nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, bend the knees, look forwards. Exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat, standing forward fold. Inhale, push through the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands back to heart center. This time with lunges, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, belly draws in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, bring the left knee down. Again, pad the left knee if you need to. Inhale, push through your feet and reach the arms up. Exhale, stay here, curl the pubic bone towards the belly button. So I'm really strong in my legs, pushing through the ground. Next, exhale, coming into a plank position. Taking a breath here. Option to drop the knees down. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, come into cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left leg up into the air. Exhale, step the left foot forward, the right knee comes down. Inhale, push through the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, curl the pubic bone towards the belly button. Take another inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. Exhale, standing forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, push through the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more like that. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, belly draws in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Option with your exhale to tuck the left toes under and reach through that left heel. So you're in a high lunge, but your hips are staying low. So getting a sense of kind of reaching forward through your right shin and back through your left heel. And then bring the left hand down, reach the right arm up. You can do this with the left knee down as well. And see if you can draw that left shoulder away from the left ear and relax the back of the neck. Bring the right hand down, step back into a plank position. Take an inhale there, and exhale, lower down towards the ground. Inhale into your back bend, draw the upper ribs forwards. Exhale, push to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up into the air. Exhale, left foot steps forward, right knee comes down. Inhale, push through the feet, reach the arms up. Option to tuck the right toes under, and on an exhale, lift up that right knee. Then steady yourself again and just find the feeling of your breath. Bringing that attitude of gentleness into the breath, even if there's intensity in the body. Or trying. Bring the right hand down and reach the left arm up. I say all these things like I can do them, and I can't. I just spend my time practicing doing them. Allow the neck to soften, push through the right hand. And feel into the gentle twist in the sides of the ribs, the back of the body. Release the left hand down, step the right foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, push through the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands back to heart center and close the eyes. Go inside and feel the breath again. And importantly, feel your feet. Feel how rooted they are to the ground. Open the eyes, take an inhale, bend your knees, come into a chair pose. And exhale, see if you can sit your hips down and maybe back a bit. So rather than bring your knees forwards, you can send your hips back. Then that means that you kind of can't get away from activating your glutes a bit. Breathing into the sides of the ribs. Option to come up onto your tiptoes. Take one more inhale. And exhale, straighten the legs, standing forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to step or jump back. Option to come through a vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up into the air, bend the right knee and open the right hip. Exhale, step the right foot forwards for warrior two. So the front knee is tracking straight forwards and you're spreading the toes of the back foot. And then flip the palms up. So the pinky fingers are facing forwards to the front of the body. And notice how that means that you have to let the shoulders settle away from the ears. Getting a sense of pushing through the feet and drawing the crown of the head back over the sacrum. Maybe even getting a sense of drawing the feet towards each other. So you're switching on all of the muscles of the legs. Clasp the hands behind the low back. Take an inhale and open across the front of the chest. And then exhale, lift the chest up and send the hands down. Maybe they start to float away from the lower back. An option here is to take a fold somewhere to the inside of that right leg, but keep the right knee facing forwards. If you're folding, relax the back of the neck. And then we'll come into half moon. So step your back foot in And bring your right hand a foot in front of your right foot. Maybe it's onto the ground, maybe it's onto a block. And reach the left arm up into the air. The left hip is open here. And you're pushing really strongly through that right foot. Good. Step the left foot back. We'll come into goddess. Bring the heels in and the toes facing out with a bend in the knees. And bring the hands together in front of the chest. We're going to take 4 lion's breaths. So it's first one's down, second one's arms out, arms forwards, and then arms up. So inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, bring the hands together to the side. Exhale. Inhale, bring the hands together. Maybe sink the hips a little. Exhale. One more. Inhale, hands together. This time, arms up. Exhale. Good. Inhale, bring the hands together in front of the chest. And then straighten the legs. Give the legs a little bit of a wobble. And then take a warrior 2 to the other side. So bend the left knee and bring the back leg out. And push through the outer edge of that back foot. This time it's the right foot. We'll take kite hawk. So bend the elbows a little. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades back. Lift the chest up. Exhale, roll the shoulder blades forwards. Draw the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades back. Lift the chest up. Exhale, shoulder blades roll forwards. See if you can keep breathing like that. Feel the movement starting from your shoulders. Good. And then coming back to center, clasping the hands again behind the low back. See if you can switch up the clasp so the opposite thumb, the normal, is on top. It's all like a mind game. Inhale, open across the front of the chest. And exhale, lift the chest up, send the hands down. Option to stay here or to fold forwards to the inside of that left leg. Relaxing the back of the head and the back of the neck if you're folding forwards. Good, and then coming into half moon, stepping the left hand in front of the left foot and floating the back foot up into the air. And this left hand, if I had a block with me, which I don't, it would be up on a block. And see if you can open the chest towards the sky. You can play with moving your gaze up towards the top arm if you want a challenge to your balance any more than you've already got. Good. And then come out and bring the feet a little bit towards each other and just give the feet a little bit of a shake. So now we're going to take our right ankle over our left thigh like we did when we were in bridge pose. Only this time we're standing on the left leg. So put a bend in the left knee, put the right ankle over the left thigh, and bring the hands together in front of the chest. And you can bend that left knee as much as you want to. Now, option to hover the right foot just off the left thigh and bring the arms out. This is called like dancing Shiva or something. And it's basically just quite intense for your glutes or your hips. So you can bend that left knee as much as you want to and think about lifting the chest up. Good. Straighten the legs. Switch over. The left ankle comes over the right thigh and you're bending the right knee. Spreading the toes of the left foot to protect the knee. Option to stay here or to hover the left ankle up off the right thigh and bring the arms out to the sides. And then here, see if you can come back to your breath. Deep, full inhales and exhales with whatever's going on, whether you can balance or not, whether you can hover the foot or not. It's all welcome. Good, release. Shake the legs out a little bit. And come back to the top of the mat. We'll come back, start to slow things down a little bit. Inhale, reach the arms up into the air. Exhale, fold forwards and draw the belly in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Option to come through a vinyasa or straight into downward facing dog. We'll take a horse breath in downward facing dog. So inhaling, and as you exhale, really shake out the head, the neck, the jaw, and the lips. Take another one. Good. Inhale, lift the right leg up into the air, bend the right knee, open the right hip. And exhale, step the right foot forwards for a lizard lunge. So this time the right foot is coming to the outside of both of your hands. So I don't know if you can see. The right foot is to the outside of the hands. And the left toes can be curled under, the left knee can be up, or the knee can be down. And I just want you to maybe close your eyes or just lower your gaze and see if you can feel into that right hip. Take the breath all the way towards it. And if you want to wiggle it out a little bit, make some circles with the right hip, then you can do. And hips tend to hold on to all sorts of stuff. So just be really gentle with whatever sensations or whatever else is coming up. Good, and then we'll move into pigeon. So walking the right foot across towards the left and dropping the right knee down. You can do your pigeon on your back with the ankle over the thigh. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Inhale, lift the chest up. And then exhale, start to fold forwards over that right thigh. Allowing the jaw and the forehead to soften. And can you take the breath all the way down into the low back? So if you're doing pigeon on your back, you're holding around the left hamstring and drawing the left thigh in towards the body. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and push back into downward facing dog. Shake the legs out a little bit.
Inhale, reach the left leg into the air, bend the left knee and open the left hip. Exhale, the left foot comes around the left hand. So both of the hands to the inside of the left foot for lizard lunge. And again, you can take some movement here. The back knee can be up or down. Just trying to tune in with what feels right in terms of the knee being up and down. So knee up is probably more intense. So if you want that, then go for it. But if you have any sense that you just want to be a little bit more gentle, then drop the knee down. Finding the breath. Good, and then coming into pigeon, walking the left foot across to the right. Good. And again, you can prop whatever you need underneath your left hip. So ideally, you want your hips to be square-ish facing towards the front. Inhale to lift the chest up. And exhale to fold forwards. Relaxing the back of the head and the back of the neck. And allowing the forehead and the cheeks to soften. And being really gentle with whatever sensations you're feeling. So just meeting them with your gentle breath and with your exhales, using the exhale to allow the muscles to soften a little bit more, whatever feels right. Good, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and then roll onto your left hip. Bring your legs out in front of you. We'll come back into Baddha Konasana, so bring the soles of the feet together and lift the chest up. Bring the hands behind the back and let the eyes close down. And see if you can take the breath all the way down into the belly, into the hips. Being really gentle with the breath. And then before we come down onto our backs, we'll take an option of two poses. So the first option is a straddle, bringing the legs wide, bending the knees as much as you need to. And you can sit up or you can fold forwards. The second option is a frog pose, which is kind of intense in a different way on the hips. So it's like what we did on our backs. Our knees come wide. You might need to roll over your mat if you're going to do a frog. And the ankles are in line with the knees. And I might sit up on my hands because it's quite intense on the insides of my thighs. Or I might come forwards onto my forearms. And I'll show you from the side. Your knees are just kind of drawing as wide as they can do. I want my hips to be in line with my knees. So wherever you are, whether you're in a frog or a straddle, you're going to take 8 breaths. So this, just kind of gently find your way in. There's no hurry. And see if you can find your way into feeling. Probably feeling will be like really present to meet you. So
So see if you can meet that sensation with a gentle attitude, a gentle breath. And if the jaw is trying to help, just soften the jaw. For your last couple of breaths. And if you're in a straddle, starting to roll yourself up and gently draw the legs together. If you're in a frog, I like to come out by bringing my hands under my shoulders and then just gently wiggling my knees towards each other. Good. And then everybody will come down onto our backs. So bring your legs out in front of you. Bring the arms out at shoulder height. Plug the shoulders into the sockets, draw the belly in, and slowly roll yourself down. So bring your low back down first, then the middle part of the back, and then the upper back. And just get your legs up into the air and give your legs a good kind of shake out. Maybe breathe out through your mouth at the same time. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. And either just give yourself a squeeze, or if you'd like to, you can take a happy baby, bringing the hands onto the outsides of the feet or the backs of the thighs. I think my hips are done. Don't need any more opening. Good. And then everybody bring your knees up over your hips, bending the knees with the shins parallel to the ceiling. Bring the arms out into a T position or a cactus. And then coming into a twist, dropping the knees over towards the right side. Just getting a sense of allowing the breath to fill the space down the left side of the low back. And allowing the exhale to soften the left shoulder blade down towards the ground. Good. Inhale, draw the knees back up to center. And exhale, drop the knees towards the left. Soften the right shoulder blade down towards the ground. Inhale, draw the knees back to center. And bring your feet so they're wide on your mat, or maybe even off the edges of the mat. And then allow the knees to drop in towards the middle. So this should take all of the pressure off the low back. If you want more in your hips, you can also bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop wide. And then option to bring a hand over the belly and a hand over the heart. Allowing the eyes to close and taking the attention all the way down into the breath as it moves into the low belly and moves into the hips. And the shoulders are soft and the elbows are soft. And then taking the breath into the space around the heart, the front, the sides, the back of the heart. And then for the last couple of breaths before we rest, connect those two spaces. So see if you can fill your belly and fill your heart at the same time with the inhale. And with the exhale, let go in the forehead, the jaw, the back. And from here, we'll move into Shavasana. So as ever, taking any movements that you'd like to take, or grabbing an extra layer or a blanket, or some socks. And then finding yourself a position to rest in. So maybe lying down on your back, or you can lie on your belly or lie with your legs up the wall, whatever feels good. And these are the moments where you can really allow the practice to integrate into the body, and you can let go. You don't have to do anything anymore. So if you're on your back, tucking the tailbone under, lengthen the low back. Shuffling the shoulders away from the ears. And softening through the forehead, through the jaw, through the muscles around the eyes. And bringing your attention to all of the parts of your body that are in contact with the ground. And then inviting all of them to soften. To allow the earth to support you. Stop holding on to anything that they don't need to hold on to. And whatever's present, sensations, emotions, allowing that to rise up and pass by, rise up and pass by. I'm going to share a few words from a Rumi poem. So as always, if they speak to you, and some of you may have heard them before because I really love it. If they speak to you, then allowing them to settle into your body, wherever it is that receives them. And if they don't, then just letting them pass by. The guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honourably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And maybe it's not gratitude for whatever comes. Maybe being grateful for whatever comes is really hard sometimes, but being gentle with whatever comes is something that I'm working with. Allowing the body to rest for a few moments more. And then starting to deepen your breath. Making some little movements with your fingers and your toes. Maybe you're taking a stretch and reaching your arms up over your head. And then hug the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Roll over to whichever side feels comfortable for you. Just pause there a moment. And then gently bring yourself back up into a comfortable seat. And bring the hands together in front of the heart. Lengthen the back of the neck and lower the gaze and breathe into the space around the heart. Breathing in that attitude of really welcoming and being compassionate with whatever it is that's present for you. We'll close the practice with the sound of one Om together. Deep breath in. Thank you all for the privilege. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. It's lovely to see you.
Alice. Thanks very much. Oh.
Welcome. Drink loads of water and sorry for opening your hips so much. If you cry a lot, that's because of that.
Thank you very much.